So what we've done is we've selected just the field that we want from the users table where the ID is equal to the user ID that's logged in. Then we're running the query and checking if that works, and if that does work, we're returning the result, and the result takes in the query that we've run. We're getting the first row. Remember, it starts at 0. Even though our ID starts at 1, that's just a superficial value. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a data that's stored. But in actual fact, we're returning row 0, and we're grabbing the field name field that we specified. Okay, so let's. In fact, we can improve this still, but I'll do that in a minute. I'll show you that it works first. We could even enclose this in an if statement and return. If it's not worked, we can return the value not found. So let's do that. I guess we can do that now. So if this returns a value, we execute something in here. Now we need to assign a variable to this, so I can say query result is equal to that. If it does work, return query result. So we're constructing our query. We're running the query. If the query is running, or has run successfully without error, we're executing this block in here. We're then, in an if statement, setting a variable called query result to this. If this query, or if this function rather, works, we then return the value we've just set here, using these that I've already explained. So let's give it a go. Let's say, we'll just do it down here for now. So I'm going to echo get user field, and I want to get first name. So we're applying now the field name that we want to get. Remember, the field name first name will be equal to Alex in this case because we're selecting from where the ID is 1. Okay, so let's test to see if this works, and then we can apply it to this you've logged in sentence. Let's go back to our page and refresh. Hopefully that works. Yeah, that's worked. So we've got Alex being returned. So now let's enter a field name that doesn't exist. I don't exist. And let's refresh. Now we've not returned anything. That's because this has returned as false. If we just had this on our own, we'd have a nasty SQL error in the middle of something. So if we can't find a field, we just don't display it, rather than causing a big error inside our program. So let's go back to where we are, to index.php. What we can now do is, if logged in, we can say first name is equal to get user field first name. First name. Then we can say surname is equal to get user field surname, and then we can incorporate these inside of this sentence. So you're logged in, first name, surname. Oh, remember we're using single quotation marks, so we need to escape that for first name, and then we do a space, and we can escape that again and say surname. So you're logged in, escape this string, concatenate on the first name, and then we do another space, concatenate on the surname, and then we continue the string. So now we can see that on index.php it's taking the information relevant to us. So let's just put a full stop after that and refresh, so it looks a bit better. Okay, so you're logged in, Alex Garrett. Now let's try it when we log out and log in as Billy. Okay, so you can see that it's now taking the data relevant to the user that's currently logged in, and it's displaying it back to us. So now we can supply any field we want, any field name we want inside here, and it will display it back to the user. So when you eventually use these examples for yourself, when you're learning, and you want to create the registration form, which we're going to do in the next stage, you can add as many fields as you want to your database, and then you can just use this function that we've created inside here, which will be available on any page that you want it to be, by just requiring it up here. you can just use this function to select any field. So if we now even go and add a field to this, say we added, say, telephone number, we can then just re-specify that inside using this function. So that's basically how we are grabbing data about the user and displaying it onto our page.